This extremely promising open-world survival RPG just got some great news. Now, this game is extremely promising, and it has had a pretty rocky launch, to say the least. Currently, it is sitting on mixed reviews, and the devs have been quiet for almost 6 months now, with almost nothing from them at all. But today they put out a little announcement. But before we check it out, subscribe to the channel, drop a like on the video, and stick around for much more survival content. If you do want to see some Bethesda stuff, check out our second channel, and follow us on TikTok. We post daily there from both channels. All the links are in the description down below. Now, today we are talking about Jaws of Extinction. This sees you surviving on the island of Eden-Nadir, which has fallen to a vicious, mind-consuming fungal parasite. You've got to fight through the ashes of humanity to track down the truth behind the infection as one of many playable survivors before the outbreak spreads throughout the world. Now, this game sees you doing all sorts of stuff: crafting, base building, hunting these weird creatures, which they're pretty much like the guys from The Last of Us. The name is escaping my mind at the moment, but pretty much like that, fungal infections, and they go a little bit brutal, and then they start eating everybody. The game is tough, and the premise is there. It is an extremely promising game, but unfortunately it was plagued by terrible bugs, average performance, and a lot of players couldn't get it to run. I myself was one of those. Now, I first covered this game back in 2021, and my last video of it was almost 2 years ago in June of 2022, and I really enjoyed the game. Absolutely loved it so much when it ran. That was the major problem. Major FPS drops, constant crashing, constant freezing, and it just wasn't optimized enough, and it didn't perform very well at all. But the times that I did get in, it was really enjoyable, and I could see what the team were trying to do. It is developed by Blood Eater Games and Immortal Hand Studios. And as mentioned, it is currently sitting on mixed reviews. Now, a lot of these reviews are relatively positive because they can see where the game is going and the idea and what they're trying to create. It is sitting at mixed reviews with just 56% of the 266 reviews being positive. Now, just a couple of reviews from the last 30 days. This one is the 30th of April, and they say, "I really like the game. It feels so different from other survival zombie games with different characters you can play, outfits, looting, building missions, and there is a UE5 version which will hopefully be launching soon." Now, the map is massive and there's loads you can explore, but as I said, optimization is a big issue. And that is the main concern through a lot of the reviews. It being in development for so long and not much has changed. It being in development and it's still poorly optimized. But the time that I was playing it, they did loads of updates adding content. But not many of the updates addressed gameplay issues such as crashing, major bugs, which was a massive shame. Now, there was an update that fixed a few things that I had, and then another update came out and the same thing happened. It was a massive, massive shame. But recently, on April the 25th, the team posted this to their Steam page. The dev team are back. We're back on what's happened over the last year, followed by an update on what's being worked on right now. And they said, "Hello survivors, we are back, and we'd like to give you a quick summary on what's happened over the last year, followed by an update on what we are currently working on. Many of you may have noticed we have been quiet over the last year, but we've been dealing with financial and legal challenges due to an investor. Thankfully, these issues are now behind us. Forthright now remains as the Jaws of Extinction publisher, while the game's development is back in the hands of the original team. We're sorry for not being able to communicate these issues to you whilst they've been happening. The hiatus was not really intentional, but rather the result of a great deal of uncertainty between all partners involved. It was not clear what could or could not be communicated public. There are a few adjustments being made through KYE Creations. The company which owns Jaws of Extinction is now being dissolved. The IP is now going to become the property of Blood Eater Games, which is co-owned by the members of the original development team. Furthermore, Blood Eater Games will now be partnering with the Immortal Hand Studios. Immortal Hand have a wealth of experience in open world survival games and developing in Unreal Engine 5. So, the UE5 version is currently under development. They have it running on Unreal Engine 5 with several under-the-hood mechanics that have been rebuilt to work properly with the latest version. They're now going to utilize the new open-world landscape systems to provide significantly better performance. Some of our old systems have been entirely replaced with improved ones. The phase in this engine update will roll out the original map upgraded to Unreal Engine 5 with the UE5 version world map coming later. So that sounds absolutely awesome. And loads of good stuff coming through UE5. Hopefully that does address a lot of the performance issues that they've been having and that have plagued it on the review side. Now, the footage that you're seeing in the background is from when I was playing it almost 2 years ago. There have been bits and mobs of the original trailer in here, which I don't think does it much justice anymore. But the original game and the premise, as mentioned, was absolutely amazing, and I loved it, and I could see where they were going for. There's so many story quests that you can do. There's so much to collect, so many things that you can search, look around, and explore. It felt like not a single part of the map was off limits to you, and I love games that give you that freedom to explore and do what you want at your own pace. And as mentioned, hopefully UE5 does help with that. Now, there was a few questions which they've answered as well. So why is the new UE5 map not being updated and released yet? The map update is ongoing and will be released when it's fully optimized and ready. Our priority is to optimize the game to run smoothly at 60 FPS on mid-range machines and even on less powerful hardware, and the new map is just not there yet. Now, the 0.5.0 version is currently in-house being tested on the latest build, and the earliest opportunity to try out the next build as part of a special beta test they're going to be running through Steam. And they're interested to hear feedback on performance and stability. So it seems like this next update, they've pushed a hell of a lot of work into the performance and stability aspects, which I think is something that is needed massively. If they can get those worked out and do a bunch of new trailers, put a little bit out there on social media, I think this game could have a really good second chance. As mentioned, the overall premise is there and it's great. I see what they're going for. And I loved the game. I just couldn't cope with the constant crashes, losing progress on some saves. So many things just kept hitting me. But I wanted to be able to play it. So hopefully, with this update, it does add a whole host of performance fixes. And if you do want to check out the beta, there is a link in the description down below, which you can apply through their Discord channel. So definitely check that out, see what's going on there. If you like the look of the game, I'd highly recommend checking it out on Steam, having a look for yourself and reading some of the reviews. A lot of them do echo the same sentiment that I am, which is the game and the premise is there. It's just the performance that lets it down. So if this update does come out and it does improve the stability of the game, this is probably a game that I will pick up full-time on the channel and cover all sorts of tips, tricks, guides, because I love it and I'm excited to see what the next update does. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure you go down in the description below, check out all of our social media pages. Max, what are you doing, boy? My dog is angry at me for some reason. Check out all of our social media pages and definitely give us a follow on TikTok. That's where daily content is, 2 to 3 videos a day on that. And it's growing quite nicely, so thanks for the support so far. For now, though, I'm Wired. You're awesome. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.